Okay, episode 16.
Episode sweet 16, mate. We got heaps to get through, so let's hook in.
What's in this episode?
Righto, we've got, in your opinion, one of the best barbecue joints around. They've just brought out a beautiful looking cookbook. We've also going to shed some light on a groundbreaking Aussie knife maker. Guess the price is back on the menu this week. I've come up with a bit of barbecue-inspired meal prep, so stay tuned.
Okay, all right. Well, let's roll into it. It's always a fun way to get the episode started. It's the fuck up of the week. But before we go into fuck up of the week, give this thing a like, give it a share. I want you to comment as we go through the video in the comments. Give us your feedback. It's important for us that you do that. So before we get started, make sure you give us a like and let's roll into it.
Yeah, but also too, for the full experience, check it out on YouTube, filmed in 4K with beautiful sound, and chuck it on the big telly and tell us what you reckon.
Yeah, and if you're in a butcher shop or you've got a barber shop or something like that, we've got about 15 episodes up already, so you can kind of loop them in the background, and it's some background stuff to listen to instead of music.
Yeah, quick maths, 16.
I had to. Did you see the look on my face while I was like...
I heard the gears turning, mate.
Okay, let's jump into it. There's no credit to this one, but I am going to turn the sound up, so let's watch it.
Ready? I'll take the rest.
I'm afraid of what?
You totally got it.
No. Hey!
Oh my goddess. Lord, hallelujah.
And I thought taking Panadol was hard.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, like, what are you achieving? Why are you trying to impress people with that sort of thing? How's it feel on the other side?
It's a knob of butter, isn't it?
It's a pound of butter, bro.
A, why was her friends encouraging her to start with? B, what's happening with the cholesterol? And C, it nearly got stuck. It looked like she was going to choke at one stage.
It would have found its way down. I mean, it's the old trick too. If you need to get a wedding ring off, you put butter on the finger, so it would have lubed itself down eventually. But I reckon there's a bit of potential matchmaking going on here. Someone's been like, "Hey, come and check out my friend's party trick." Yeah,
It doesn't look like it's the first time she's done this.
no. I'm pretty speechless, really.
So am I. And if you can't see what we can see, she's just, how would you describe it? She has shoved down her throat an entire knob of butter.
She's deep-throated a stick of butter. And her partner's probably watching this going, "Oi, this ain't a fuck-up."
Okay, let's move on. This is a photo of an Auckland traffic management worker who sought a little shade. Let's watch the video. So apparently he went viral for using a pizza box over the top of his safety hat because he wanted a little bit of extra shade. He said that his neck was getting burnt, but by the time he got home, it had already gone viral all over New Zealand.
Yeah, someone here stopped at this stop sign and spotted this bloke and thought, "I'm putting this on the gram for sure." Old bloke's just thought he's done something smart after smoko. Now he's at the mercy of all the bloggers.
Yeah, it subsequently became an article on the New Zealand Herald, which is their largest newspaper, and it was one of their top stories for the entire year last year.
I reckon. And yeah, as usual, the internet is undefeated and the comments were absolute gold.
The best one said, "They made a mistake when ordering a large Hawaiian."
You're welcome.
All right, let's move on. Dishes of the week.
This is one of our favourites.
We love to eat vicariously through the screen here. And this one was sent to us by Sean Hamilton. He goes, "I love you guys. I love your content and would love your opinion." Let's watch it.
Got the snake method going on there on the old kettle.
I think he's got a big Boston butt there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's money.
That is money.
So he's using the bone to break up the pulled pork here.
Is that burnt or bark?
That's bark.
You could have been misled though, because the rub went in quite orange at the start. That's bark all day.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, my only little weird complaint about this video is somehow the filter that he's using to saturate the colour, it gives up halfway here. You watch. Oh, it's gone.
Like a Snapchat story.
But look, you've done well, son. That is impeccable barbecue, and I love the way you've used the bone there to break up the pulled pork.
And Boston butt, what cut is that for us Australians?
I want to say it's under the neck.
It's a shoulder, isn't it?
I should know this. Is it actually called a Boston butt?
So you said a Boston butt, but for us uneducated Aussies, what cut would we get from our butcher?
A pork shoulder.
Pork shoulder.
But mind you, a pork neck would do the same thing.
Pork neck, so not near the bum at all.
No, that's what they call it in America, the Boston butt, but in Australia we call it a pork shoulder.
Yeah.
But that's where you get pulled pork from, and that's kind of where a lot of people get started in barbecue, and he's done a smashing job here.
He definitely has. Well done, Ham's Kitchen.
Thanks for sending in too, by the way. If you've got any videos or any cooks at home that you want us to critique, and we're sometimes a bit too brutally honest, but when it's this good, we've got nothing to complain about. This is awesome.
That's it. Critique our cooks too, guys.
Yeah, so if you've got some videos, send it in to us. Okay, the next one here was posted by our good friend Dan Barrington on the socials, and this is Wagyu steak and fries. He toasted a bun, he lays down a bed of fries, then the steak. It's medium rare, it's marble score 6 ribeye, cut into slices, and then he makes it rain with a bourbon Diane sauce.
I was going to say that looked very Diane. And as far as sourcing a steak goes, I don't think you can go past a good Diane.
Yeah, I'm a pepper steak kind of guy, but having said that, a good Diane's just as good.
So good. And he's not gatekeeping anything here. He's going through all these techniques and, replicate this at home.
Yeah, so Dan Barrington, look him up. Does he have a name on?
I think it's Smoked Beyond Smoke.
Smoked Beyond Smoke. So if you want to see the full recipe here, Smoked Beyond Smoke, but we think this is just banging. Wagyu steak and fries with a Diane sauce on a baguette.
Send it.
Okay, it's another round of Guess the Price.
Yeah, another segment that'll probably be irrelevant in a month with the way inflation's going. But
Yeah.
you've just witnessed firsthand how expensive the US has become. So
We've played this game before where what we do is there's a balance between quantity versus quality. And for me, I'd rather pay more and have quality than I would have quantity. But it's different for everybody, right? A lot of times when people post a picture of their platter, people go, oh, that's ridiculous. I can cook it cheaper at home. No shit, Sherlock. You don't have a restaurant, bills, utilities to pay, staff, wages. But if you're going out, it's a treat and you've got to pay for it. And so,
if that's your attitude, stay home.
Very true. Very true. All right. This one was posted by Dave's Not Here. It's from Smoke Me Barbecue. They're in the middle of the desert in Kuwait.
Okay, so if they're in Kuwait, nearly everything on that plate has to be imported, I'm assuming.
So you've got a half a chicken.
About half a pound of brisket, full link. You got some pickles, some sides, bit of bun if you're that way inclined. Aussie dollars, I'm going to say 120.
No, so 70 Australian dollars, 45 USD.
That's good.
That's good eating there. One of the comments did say the sausage looks like it was cooked with a hairdryer.
I was about to mention the same thing, but I thought maybe because it's on that side of the screen, I was just not getting the colour.
No, so Dave got a bit defensive in the comments and he said the sausage is made out of beef. Pork's not an option over there. It's definitely not the best, so he concedes that, but he said apparently that's the best they can do.
Yeah, but you can still make a good snag out of beef trim.
That'd be the only thing on that platter that I would think looks a little bit mid.
Yeah, that ketchup's looking quite radioactive too.
Okay, moving on. This was posted by 9 Lives. It's from Black Cactus Barbecue in London.
We've got some pork belly burn ends, bit of snag, chips, pulled pork, brisket, chopped pork. Oh, you're looking at 60 quid. So $100.
You're close. You're really close. 50 quid, 63 US, or about 100 Australian dollars.
Close, but no cigar.
So the place gets really good reviews. Black Cactus Barbecue in London, and we should do something on these guys.
We definitely should.
Because that looks like pretty smashing brisket.
We're starting to accumulate a few lists, bucket lists, deep dive lists, all these sorts of things.
So I feel like we need to have some sort of chart up on the wall or a list or something like that where we can start to categorise all these things out and cross them off when we do our deep dives.
Yeah, man, we just roll down some butcher paper and got a pencil.
That's a great segue. How cool are these hats? Si's given me one today. They hold the pencil really well.
Yeah, so a good mate Troy from over in Christchurch, he owns a company called Leadhead. We're going to touch a bit more on him later in the show. But I've been looking to get some of his hats for a while, and just before Christmas he made shipping to Australia available. So yeah, I ordered a heap and
So he's based in the States?
No, based in New Zealand.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so Kiwi ingenuity. The idea is hats for tradies, keep your pencil in there. Every hat comes with its own pencil and that sort of thing, which the reason I'm not rocking that one is my kids stole them all. Yeah, we'll go into a bit later on about Troy and what he's doing. He collabs with a heap of barbecuers and that sort of thing, but their gear's awesome, you know.
Right. Well, while we're on the subject, you got a cool T-shirt on too.
I do, mate. Yeah, this one's going back. This is 2018 Fuck You. Successful barbecue team from West Auckland, Richie and Shani. Yeah, the kids get involved too. Love those guys. Can't wait to see them and high-five them and meet Stock Hamilton. Shani's going to be cooking in the fire kitchen and always a good time.
I'm rocking a Shane Smith and the Saints t-shirt. They're a cool band. I think they got pretty popular because they had a few songs on Yellowstone. I saw them live in London thanks to Millscale. They got us some tickets. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. You could have checked out Black Cactus while you were there too,
I
mate.
should have.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a good segue. Okay, let's move on to the last one. And this is a little bit of a giveaway. It was posted by Top Her Lee on Reddit. And the tray is blue, which is the same colour as the trays that you get from Franklin Barbecue in Austin. So maybe one of the most famous barbecue joints in the world. He also fessed up, though, and said that outside of this picture, he also had some turkey and potato salad that wasn't on this plate. So take that into consideration.
So are we judging just this plate or the whole order?
The whole order.
100 US.
It's 156 US. So it works out to be about 250 Australian dollars. He did say the beef rib was huge, but to put things in context, this is one of the best barbecue joints in the world. A lot of people gave him crap about his beans in the comments.
I thought they were peanuts at first.
The original poster did say that he didn't rate the sides at all.
Yep. We're going to have to sell a few more T-shirts before I put that one on the list, mate.
Yes, but he did say the meat was banging. He said it lived up to expectations. He said even though he didn't like the sides, he thought the meat was fantastic. So, look, it's one of the top barbecue joints in the world. You're going to have to pay for it.
Well, there's a reason people line up at stupid o'clock in the morning every day to go there.
Okay, well, there you go. That's enough of our guess the price.
Once again, I was fucking hopeless. But,
No, I thought you did all right. Got the second one nearly right.
yeah, whatever.
All right, we're on to some news. And this is a weird one. You're going to have to bear with me a little bit here. Dickey's. Have you heard of Dickey's before?
Only the overall company.
Okay. Well, Dickey's is a barbecue chain in America. And at one stage, they had over 550 restaurants in America. In 2020,
Were they
were
all photoshopped like that one, or
look, I
real?
pinched this off the internet. So full disclosure, I did pinch it off the internet, but I think it's a concept, look for a store. But in 2020, they revealed their plans. They were going to open 50 restaurants in Australia. They signed a letter of intent with QSR Foods. Since then, I don't know what's happening, right? So it's gone a little bit quiet on that front. But in the US anyway, in the last 2 years, almost 30% of them have shut. Last year alone, they lost 100 locations. So they're down to just about 350 locations. One franchisee who owns 4 restaurants said that he blames extreme and unreasonable demands from Dickey's and sales are down 5% year on year. So it's a bit of a tough world in the food industry in general, right? And it's no different for Dickey's. So what do you think they're going to do to combat this sort of downturn in their business?
Launder money.
Well, my guess would be to improve the barbecue because that's what you do for a living.
Well, for someone who's passionate about what they do, that's the first thing you would imagine.
Well, let's have a look here.
Dickey's has officially entered the crispy chicken sandwich chat.
All right, that's right, Chef. That's what the kids say. That's right, though, y'all. We have officially entered the crispy chicken sandwich chat. And at Dickey's, our motto is simple: evolve or fail. And this new addition to our menu is...
Okay, so I'm going to let that keep playing, but they're introducing chicken sandwiches. Now, in the States, Chick-fil-A is all the rage at the moment and it's packed and people love them. So they're getting into chicken sandwiches, which I don't know if that's going to work.
No, because there's now a bird flu epidemic and chicken and eggs are the next thing in the firing lines. You got to pick your battles a bit better, Dickey's.
Yes. I will say this. When I was researching a little bit about this story and the history of Dickey's, they have some interesting marketing angles. And this was their most recent video on YouTube. So right in the firing line. This is a video done by Roland Dickey Jr., which I'm assuming is related to the original owners or, family member. And this is what's up on his YouTube.
Hey, okay, today I want to talk about something like really, really cool, okay? Ancient Warfare Magazine and their podcast, okay? It is great. And I like to go around and learn
Fuck,
different
you
things
moved
about
the
different
goalposts
time
on this one.
Including today in business, but also history and military history, things like that.
So I'm going to turn the sound down, but basically this segment is titled Barbecue Books and Business with Roland Dickey Jr., where he explores the crossroads of history, learning and leadership. And this particular episode, which is the most recent episode on their YouTube, is called Ancient Warfare and Timeless Lessons. Yeah, that's what they're doing to turn this ship around, is to find out a little bit about ancient techniques and introduce chicken sandwiches.
Don't worry about improving prices and improving your brisket. Get some chicken sandwiches in the chat.
That's what the kids are saying these days. Look, I hope it works out for them because they're a bit of an institution in America, and barbecue is a tough business in itself, right? Let alone having a chain of them, let alone having hundreds of them. So, but I would think that if you are really going to turn the business around, that improving the quality of barbecue should be number one.
I would think so, and maybe staff conditions and that sort of thing, but I know nothing about it, so good luck to them.
Yeah. Okay. That's the end of that news, but we've got some mail.
More mail.
Love mail. Send us stuff in the DMs. We love it. This one was sent to us from Chris. He's from Smoking Guns Barbecue Team here in Australia. And Chris also has a Schmidt stick.
He does, but his is ready to roll, mate. Mine's for show and his for go.
Is it exactly the same design?
It's the same design. It's just a different print. So mine's on the red plywood. His is on the blue. All gripped up. Got the big Thunder trucks and the rail protectors there. And there's
So he
a
says,
whole lot of rosy.
Yeah, so he says that when he's at barbecue comps, the skateboard is always on display.
Amazing. So he had the same thought that I did when he first saw us. This needs to be a thing.
Yeah, and that's a pretty cool looking pit too.
It was built by Mick Tyrrell at Full Throttle when he had Manhorn up and running there, and it's basically his take on a Jambo. And I was talking to him about it, and he said that he pretty much treated this thing like he was restoring an old car, the way he cut no corners and all that sort of thing. And I think he built it for someone else, and Chris has been the lucky new owner.
Well, that paint is exceptional.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And Mick's got all the gear to make something this special. Not so much pits anymore, because he mentioned to me that he can't afford to make pits to the quality that he wants to at the moment. So, but this is a sexy pit.
Yeah, it's stunning. And skateboard goes well.
It bloody does.
Okay, on to the next one. This was sent in to us by Matt Harris. He's a good friend of the show. And I won't read it all, but he's basically talking about your popcorn hack. And what he says is, if you have a coffee grinder, blitz up your rubs until they're a dust. The finer dust gets into the popcorn crevices better, and you use less. It also adheres to the popcorn better. Love the show, boys.
It's good. That's a good bit of knowledge there. My story with the popcorn is my kids just wanted chicken salt on it one day, and it evolved into using different rubs. But I'll have to try this finer rub distribution, and it makes sense. It will, it'll emulsify to the butter better. And also, in saying that, triple butter popcorn, massive half price special on at the supermarket the other day. Load it up.
Oh, man, we've had a lot of popcorn on this show already, but we're in for some more, hey?
Well, that's it. But I, like yourself, get messaged all the time in regards to what we've done on the show. And quite often I'll get someone message me with a picture of their popcorn at home. And, mate, this really does work.
Yeah, all right. Well, maybe there's a little bit of a twist to it here and an improvement to be made. So thanks for Matt for hitting us up with his thoughts.
Well, that's what we're all about, making something that's good better.
Okay. Talking points. So these are a few little photos we've found that we probably don't quite know the full story to, but we've tried to find out a little bit of information, but it's something to chat about. Now, this was posted by Eric Clifford. He posted this hack to Facebook. It looks like a pellet grill to me, and he said, I added 4-inch rocks to the bottom of my grill. It basically eliminated the hot spots, and my barbecue now cooks evenly. Just a tip for anyone else who's dealing with hot spots.
Well, I saw this and sent it to you because I love the idea. It just sort of speaks to me in the fact that growing up in Tassie, all the ovens had foil wrapped bricks in them, because what it did was it meant that you could cook at a high temperature. The brick would heat up, and then you could turn the oven down, but the residual heat from the brick, or the stones in this matter, keep the heat. It's essentially you're cutting down on fuel too.
Yeah, okay. Well, a lot of people in the comments said that those rocks are going to explode, but I doubt a smoker ever get hot enough to explode a rock.
No, but it's also certain types of rocks too. Like if you get river rocks, quite often they will explode because they've been submerged in water, and it's the water inside the rock actually trying to escape. But if you've got some nice dry rocks around a fireplace, that sort of thing, I mean, bricks would probably work too.
Well, I'm not buying this works. So if you've done it at home and you think it works, let us know, but I'm not buying it.
You think it's a fail?
Look, I'm not sure. I hate to be like a little bit pessimistic, but I just think he's overselling it a little bit. Like it eliminates all hotspots. I don't know.
It could be good,
I think
though.
it'd take a while for the rock to heat up, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but also too, like if you think about it, he might be cooking in a really cold environment too. Like it's winter over there at the moment, heaps of snow, and it could just work as extra insulation inside.
Yep, good point. All right, let us know what you think in the comments. All right, moving on to products. Got a new cookbook.
It looks sexy.
We haven't got our hands on one, but this thing looks stunning. It's by Burnt Ends, which is a restaurant based out of Singapore. It's 368 pages. It's got 379 images, 70 recipes. Now, Burnt Ends is a Michelin-starred restaurant in Singapore. The chef is Dave Pinett. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He's an Australian living in Singapore. And Burnt Ends has to be one of the coolest, most modern, progressive barbecue restaurants in the world. And this is some of the recipes that are in the cookbook. The photography's stunning. It's by Per Anders Jorgensen. This looks banging.
It does look good. Look at that whole hog all sectioned up, and that looks like a fancy cob loaf to me with something delicious stuffed inside there. Lobster. So good. So the last time I went there, they were using a whole heap of green eggs in the kitchen as part of their sort of repertoire of barbecues. But their whole philosophy is a barbecue spin, but it's by a pretty talented chef, and he's kind of merging cooking over fire and barbecue together with fine dining. I thought you meant like actual chicken eggs then that were green.
No.
And then I realised you meant the ceramic cooker.
The ceramic cooker, correct, yeah. So my only other comparison to this place would probably be Fire Door in Sydney. I can't think of anywhere else in the world doing this style of cuisine using fire and barbecue.
Look at that chicken plate. He's used all the little chicken tail knobs there that quite often get thrown away, and they are just flavour parcels.
Yeah. So we need to get our hands on one. If anyone knows, I think we may as well just buy one online.
That's it.
But if you know someone who's going to give us one, that'd be cool too.
Yeah, we'll put it on the shelf in the background.
Yeah.
It'll be a talking point. We probably won't cook anything out of it because it looks a bit out of our league, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Next up, Eagle Eyes would have seen us use this last week.
Yeah, I reckon. But this is what we're all about. Bit of grass-fed beef tallow, mate.
Yeah, so this is by The Steak Lad, and he's got a new product out. It's beef tallow, and he sent us some. We used it last week to cook eggs with Jess Prolls' new rub. Apparently, it's great for high heat cooking, flavour enhancement, or even skincare.
Yeah, right.
That's what it says on the website. There's a lot of talk these days about how certain types of oils are actually really bad for you, vegetable oils especially.
Yeah, but a lot of this is coming from our algorithm because we follow a lot of butchers and barbecuers that want us to use more beef products as opposed to seed oils.
That's true too. In moderation, beef tallow is supposed to have a ton of health benefits. There's no denying that it tastes great, but I think the key word there is in moderation.
100%. I mean, it's still fat and cholesterol at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And, I mean, don't go just spreading that on your toast.
No, but if you're going to cook potatoes, like crispy potatoes with a roast.
Yeah. I also am a fan of when you do your brisket cooks, you trim up all the hard fat, put that in the smoker and collect your own tallow. That's always a good time.
Yeah, I want to say if you go to any good barbecue restaurant in the States at the moment, their secret now is to smother everything in melted beef tallow.
Yeah.
So all their briskets and meat coming out get a splash or a spray of beef tallow, and that's kind of what sets the barbecue over the edge.
Yeah, lamb tallow too. Bit of an inside tip too from some pretty good barbecuers.
Okay.
Yeah.
A bit of a secret there that they put on their in their competition boxes.
It could or could not be.
Okay. Art by Sigh. Every single week we feature one of your artworks, and you're always busy. This was another banger.
This is exclusive release right here. This is for the legends at Heat Beads, and this is coinciding with the meat stock season about to start off. So they're coming to all 4 stops this year.
So for those that don't know, Heat Beads and a beautiful bunch of human beings come to pretty much every single meat stock. They roll up in a trailer, which is a portable live fire kitchen, and they spend all day cooking everything from crocodiles to hanging chunks of meats to fruits to pizzas to you name it. They cook it all over live fire, and they are hilarious.
They're hilarious, they're entertaining, they're engaging, they're informative. Most of all, they're passionate. Like, you know, the guys that own and promote the brand are there. They're the ones sweating their rings off in the hot sun. They're the ones giving out the info. And yeah, I mean, Heat Beads is such a great product, and they're great supporters of the scene because they're massive sponsors for meat stock too, and they get around everything we want to do. They're just really passionate about the growth of any form of barbecuing in Australia and New Zealand as well. They've got a big presence over there. But yeah, the Meat Wagon, as it's aptly named, is a regular addition to the live fire spectacle at Meat Stock.
Yeah, and they know how to party too, don't they?
They certainly do. There may or may not be a bottle of Fireball included in that design.
As a promoter of an event, I hate doing it, but sometimes I've got to walk over and just go, guys, I know you're having a fun time, but can you dial it back just a little bit so I don't get in trouble?
If you hear that dinner bell ring and you're close by, swing past because they've usually got a few little tastes of what they've been cooking. They're good times, man. They love it. They get involved. They work hard. They party harder, and we love them. And this one is exclusive.
It's one of your best, bro.
Yeah, cheers, man. I was pretty happy with how it came out. Once again, yeah, Shaz wanted me to try and fit 10 pounds of stuff into a 2-pound cup, but anyway, we got it done. I do believe they may have some of these in New Zealand meat stock.
Okay.
I think
For
they'll
sale?
Yeah, for sale. This is their annual merch. The slogan this year is "Bring the Heat," and this is their merch to help pay for the whiskey in the jar.
Okay, so moving on to some tattoos. Now, this is one that you sent me here, and I'm going to turn the sound down. But this tattoo is by Los Cowboy at Hive Tattoo Art Gallery in Italy. It's freehand ears in one shot for Nicholas.
If you're squeamish, look away soon, because not that we should have many. We've got some carnivores and people that like their barbecue. Yeah, this bit right about here is what got me. The slow motion of the blacking out of the earlobe. But by the looks of that, he's left his ear jewellery in while it's happened.
Yeah, okay.
I would have taken that out because that would have been a pain in the ass. But yeah, this is a style known as blackout or black work. Quite often it's freehand because they work with the movement and the shape of the body, and everything's custom. They use a mixture of heavy black and dot work. In a couple of episodes' time, I'm going to touch on some things. There used to be a thing called the Brutal Black Project, but I'll let you know a bit about that at the time.
Okay, all right, a bit worried. But I will say this, every time I see blackout work, especially when it's not completely blacked out, it just looks like a bunch of mess to me, like some scribbly mess. But this is actually really symmetrically designed, and I love it. I think it's awesome.
Well, it's well thought out, you know, and there's guys that specialise it. Like, you know, it might look like that guy's just got the whole back of his head blacked out, but a lot of it is just severe strokes and a mixture of scarring sometimes too. They go intentionally deeper to have raised areas so the tattoos have texture.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of seeing it. I wouldn't rock too much of it myself because it's not really the style I'm into. When I did tattoo, I mucked around with a little bit of black stuff, and it was fun, man. It's you got to be very disciplined because you can either put black in or you can't. There's no in between. Yeah, this is sick.
All right, let's move on to the next one. This was posted by Snoo82, and it's not food related at all, but it was too good not to share, and it was titled "What I Asked For versus What I Got." So this is the drawing they brought in. This was the end result, and for what the artist was given, this was done at Avalon Tattoo in Canada by Andreas, I'm butchering this name by the way, but Ponce de Leon, and I think he's done a great job of interpreting a very simple sketch and turning it into a piece of art.
He probably didn't have to either, but this client's come in, probably 99% of tattooers that are just there for the money sometimes would have just been like, fuck yeah, this is what they want, this is what they're going to get. Well, this guy's taken a bit of inspiration and said, how about we do this? Gone to the effort of redesigning it, reimagining it, and that client would be fucking happy, bro.
Yeah. The final details are a little bit sketchy though.
Yeah, there's a few bit in technique there that haven't been executed that great, but fuck, mate, it's a win.
Yeah. As per always, the comments are hilarious, and that's really the reason why I put this one up. So the comment of the day for me was, I'm sorry you didn't get the butt plug that you wanted. And someone else said, you asked for a butt plug and got the elixir of life. That's a win.
I love it. Everyone's mind's in the gutter.
Okay. Featured maker. It's been a while since we've featured an artist, and this one's really kind of like, I wouldn't say near and dear to my heart, but I've got a lot of respect for this guy, and I think the quality of his work is phenomenal.
Yeah, he's got a big place in my heart, does this guy. I've done some stuff personally with him. I've been to his studio. I'd love to make a knife in his joint. Aidan from Cutthroat Knives down in Melbourne, an absolute fucking trailblazing legend. He's hit a bit of hard times at the moment because Instagram is really giving him a hard time. He's censoring a lot of his content because he's displaying knives, which they're seeing as dangerous objects.
Yeah, but you use knives in the kitchen all day, every day.
You do, but that's just the world we live in now. Like, people are probably reporting him and that sort of thing. But yeah, to the point now where every post he's putting up, he's writing the word censored all over it, but not over the knife itself, just to try and break the algorithm, because this guy built a successful business with the aid of social media and that sort of thing, because his stuff is just absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, his photography is amazing. His knives are amazing. His handles are next level. Let's have a little bit of a look at his stuff. So each knife takes about 3 to 5 days to make. And it's usually each knife is made entirely by one person start to finish.
Yeah, so he does the lot. He forges the blade. He obviously does the sharpening, the shaping, all that sort of thing. Sets his own resin handles, that sort of thing. But every knife is so unique and so different. Like the knife I collaborated with him, he wanted the handle to basically look like a half-lit chunk of charcoal. And then I did some typography and we laser etched that onto the blade itself. And it's just absolutely spectacular. But even to the point that when you buy one of his knives, you get a poster essentially of how to care for your knife, but then he gets those screen printed on the proper gliche paper and you frame it and you keep that in your kitchen. It's an artwork in itself. The care instructions, they come in beautiful big postage tubes.
It's absolutely fantastic. His attention to detail just blows me away. So the big thing about what he does is usually the handles. So the blades are one thing, and look at the detail work on that blade that he's got over there. But his handles is, I think, where he takes things to the next level. So he uses a lot of resins. I've seen him put things like $100 notes that are chopped up into a resin handle. But he also uses, that's mammoth tooth. He's made handles out of orange juice caps and old building materials.
That's so cool.
He's got a real focus on sustainability.
And he's just so passionate, like he's got to the point now where he's running 2-day workshops and he's the guy taking time out of his weekends to run these classes because he just loves it.
Yeah. Well, the tough part is the amount of time and energy it takes to make a custom knife sometimes doesn't translate to how much people are prepared to pay for it, right? So a lot of what he does now is classes. You can come along, do one of his classes and make your own knife. Now, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and, you get to take that with you at the end too, so that's a good little keepsake. If you've got like celebratory birthday or like a big event or something coming up and you want something really bespoke and unique, check these guys out, whether you buy someone a ticket to a class or a personalised knife or something like that.
It's ultimate present, really, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
The other thing I'd say too is you've got day-to-day knives that you use, Victorinox or whatever. This is something that you pull out for a special occasion. It's like an heirloom that you would pass down to your kids. But if you want to impress somebody at a dinner party and you pull out a knife like this, like you're balling, right?
That's it. I might pull mine out later to slice up Cook of the Week.
Well, if you have paid attention over the last lot of episodes, you will have noticed that we have pulled one of his knives out quite a few times.
Yeah, we love it. It's a beautiful little sabre.
All right, all this talk, I'm hungry. What's on the menu?
On the menu, well, we're doing a bit of what I like to call a bit of meal prep here. So what I've done is I've got a smoked barbecue cheeseburger meatloaf.
Say that again slowly.
A smoked barbecue bacon cheeseburger meatloaf.
That's a lot of things.
It is.
So tell us about the ingredients.
So it's basically just all burger ingredients. Like I sent you this picture here and you pretty much thought, well, someone in the office thought that she was getting a bacon smash burger for lunch today.
Yeah.
It's in meatloaf form. And the reason I've done it, I've cooked it up Sunday arvo and I slice it cold every day and have meatloaf sandwiches for lunch.
Okay, well, talk me through the process here and I'm going to start playing some of the videos. So
what I've done here is I've over toasted the brioche buns. And the reason for that is usually you need a binder. So instead of breadcrumbs, I've put these in the food processor and made my own brioche. Obviously some nice burger mince from the butcher, some good high melt American cheese, some eggs to hold it all together, white onion, chopped bacon, and obviously pickles. And pretty well I've tried to keep everything around the same size. If it's too chunky, the meatloaf's not going to hold itself together that great. And I've also thrown in some salt and pepper, some of the Blue Smoke Oklahoma smash burger rub because the umami and the onion flavour in that works so great. And I've thrown in some Fat Boys maple bacon barbecue sauce in there too, just because you need a bit of wet along with those eggs to hold it all together. And I've just minced it all up into a nice little firm yet wet texture. And I've lined the pan before I put it in the smoker. For the reason we'll see soon. But what that's going to do is sort of about an hour to an hour and a half in, once that meat sort of separated itself from the pan, I've pulled it out and I've basically set the sauce like you would a rack of ribs. So I've taken it out, I've put it in a pan, then I've hit it with some more sauce to give it a nice glazy coat. And chucked that in the fridge after it was done, brought it in today. And
what temp you cook it at in the Traeger?
Temp was 375. So
Okay.
around 180 Celsius, just to confuse everyone there. But yeah, just about an hour and a half. Once it looks like that, there's a bit of separation between the edges and the meatloaf there. Pull it out, got the sauce, put it in another pan that's held its shape nicely. And I'm just going to pour it over and baste it and glaze it and set a nice sticky sauce on it like you would a set of ribs. And today we're going to serve it on some thick cut white bread with some ketchup and mustard.
Dude, this looks spectacular.
Yeah, but no, it was good. And I mean, you can do anything with a meatloaf. I mean, my mum back in the day, she used to put hard-boiled eggs in hers and little baby beetroots, so you'd slice it and be like a bogan terrine. But yeah, someone should do like a Big Mac version. You could do all sorts. But yeah, the beauty of this is, I mean, because it's beef, it lasts in the fridge a little bit longer. I mean, you can get 3 or 4 days worth of smoko with this. So
Okay, and
yeah.
this, you got it on some thick bread here.
Yeah, man. I went to the baker this morning and grabbed a loaf and asked him not to slice it because ever since I had a sandwich up in Brisbane at Eat at Billy's, I'm all about that thick white life.
Okay. Eat at Billy's, eh?
Eat at Billy's, bro.
Where's that, Brisbane?
Right next door to Meat at Billy's, the butcher in Brisbane.
Okay, and he's a big fan of the thick bread, yeah?
Yeah, bro. Thick white toast bread.
Okay. Well, that brings us on to the part where we get to eat it. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm hungry. Whoa, this looks banging. And we've got a cutthroat knife.
Aiden's probably sitting there watching going, you don't cut bread with my knife.
This is a sandwich and a half. Okay, this is huge.
It's a slab.
Look at the cross-section on this thing. Holy dooly.
Meat to bread ratio is perfect.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers, bro. You could put salad on it, but
Every time. You're right about the meat to bread ratio. I thought it was too much. It's not.
no, it's good, eh?
It tastes like a meatloaf cheeseburger.
It does. It's cheese. It's
That's what it is.
It's midweek cheeseburgers, bro. Smoko cheeseburgers.
All right, I'm going to give that a 10 out of 10. It tastes every bit as good as it looks.
Happy with that.
Okay, the Encore. It's the end of the show. Usually we throw up a photo. One of us really doesn't know what's going on. We're going to kind of make it up.
I think someone's a hoarder.
So this was posted online by Gavin Shields. Do you know the group it was posted on?
I believe it would have been something like the Dull Men's Club.
I think it's the Dull Men's Club. I forgot, but I'm glad you remembered. He goes, I have been saving all my sauce from various food restaurants over the years, and I keep them in a drawer in my dining room. But tonight I decided to sort and count them all.
Someone needs to let this guy that the war's over. The planes aren't flying overhead anymore, bro. But I'm disappointed because I think one of the rules of the Dull Men's Club is you need a banana in your photo for reference.
Yeah, a lot of people make excuses about not having the banana, but it's an essential part.
Well, seriously, bro, you need a banana in your diet if you're collecting all that shit.
I won't go through all the actual amounts because he does list them all from 1 to 2 to 3 of how many he's got and the different types that he's got. But he had 13 McDonald's ketchups, 14 Chinese yellow mustards, and 53 Taco Bell Diablos. In total, he had 412 packets of sauce.
Yeah, right. I'm not impressed.
Well, it does seem to suit the Dull Men's Club group, though.
It certainly does. It's a win there. I'm sure he got his likes.
Well, if you've got more than this sitting in your drawer, we need to hear from you, I reckon. And on that note, that's the end of our episode. But give us a like, leave some comments for us, for crying out loud. We need the feedback. And another one's down.
Yeah, cook some meatloafs, do your twist on it. I want to see someone do the Big Mac version. I reckon that's a nod to Mr. Barrington. He loves cooking up what we suggest. So, yeah, let us know.
Okay. See you next week.
See you next Tuesday, mate.
See ya.